Hey, what's up, fight fans? Evil Eddie from PureEVil MMA here, checking in with you to let you guys know what you missed out on or what you saw at UFC Rotterdam today. It was crazy. I actually got 11 out of 13 picks right. So for those of you who are listening and taking my advice, I really hope that I made you guys some money. It's been a really rough week for MMA fans and Bellator. We lost two amazing fighters this week, and today's episode is dedicated to that. Listen, if you guys know anybody that is suffering with depression or is talking about harming themselves, please call 1-800-SUICIDE. Talk to them. It's not a joke. It's very serious. And also, for those of you who are out there texting and driving, you got to cut that out. We lost a fighter this week, Jordan Parsons, to a hit-and-run accident, and they're still searching for the guy who hit him. Unfortunately, he had his leg amputated, and his heart was only running at 20%, and he didn't make it. So, PureEVil MMA wants to dedicate this episode to the families of those who are affected from this horrible, horrible news. So we're just going to take a second of silence for them. Alright, guys. So, today, wow. Unfortunately, I don't like these fights being earlier in the day. I mean, depending on where you guys are, I'm over here in Connecticut, so the fight started this morning for me, so it was kind of like off track in the middle of my day. It's Mother's Day, so it was kind of difficult, but I made it happen. And there's been huge news this week. Paig Vanzant got called out by Ronda Rousey. Here's what happened. Miesha Tate was on Joe Rogan Experience, and they were talking, and Paige apparently came up to Miesha and was like, I gotta tell you something. I was at some VIP party for MMA fans, and she wanted to get a picture with Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey's people came up to Paige, and they were like, don't even go near her, don't talk to her, don't ask her nothing. So she was like, what I do? Comes to find out that Ronda Rousey is mad at Paig Vanzant for congratulating Holly Holm on winning. I mean, come on, Ronda. Really? You're going to be mad at this young girl who is just full of smiles? I mean, but that's Ronda Rousey, so there's no complaining. I thought that was pretty funny news this week. And also, huge fight announcements. Robbie Lawler versus Tyrone Woodley. It's going to be sick. He finally got his chance. I'm pumped. I'm a huge Robbie Lawler fan, if you can't see by the autographs. But unfortunately, this is going to be a hard fight for me to pick. Robbie Lawler is an amazing fighter. Woodley is an amazing fighter. And when the time comes, I will make up my mind and I will let you guys know. And I'm telling you, put money on it because we've been doing really good. I'm 32 out of 36 in the last 6 events, if you count 6 fights from the top. And I'm actually pretty proud of that. So for those of you who are watching, I really hope I made you guys some money today. And also in fight news, I thought this was really funny. Before I get into UFC Rotterdam, I have to point this out. Khabib Nurmagomedov was in Russia, where he's from, and they're opening up a Reebok. 3,000 fans showed up to support and get his autograph, and they absolutely destroyed the Reebok store. There's pictures of it, and there's just clothes everywhere, shoes everywhere. It was just vandalized. It was crazy, out of control. And in the video, you just see Khabib sitting there, like, doesn't know what to do. He's like, damn, there's mad people here, and they're just going nuts. And you got to be careful, because you don't know if there's anyone in that crowd that, is not okay in their head, if you know what I mean. So there was so much security around him. Everyone was going nuts. Everyone got their autographs, got out of there, but the place was destroyed. Also, I need to get to this. There was some cross-dressing this week on the Ultimate Fighter Season 23. PureEVil MMA has been doing live tweets for the new season, and it's really exciting. This week, 2 JJ Eldritch went out there against what the hell is her name? Tatiana. And Tatiana is a great wrestler. She's one of the favorites to win this thing for the girls. And I had JJ winning, but it could have went either way in my head. And as soon as that cage door shut, Tatiana went in there, and I was like, damn. Right off the bat, I knew that I made a mistake. She won the entire fight, hands down. It was out of control. I'm looking forward to seeing what that girl can do. I actually asked her to be on PureEVil MMA, so we'll see if she gets back to me, guys. I really hope she does. But for the cross-dressing, and last season, the guys have been getting weird season after season on The Ultimate Fighter. Last season it was the NOS hours. After a victory, they would pour NOS on one another, and Brendan Schaub was just breaking balls about it. Like, it was out of control. And this season, there's been cross-dressing. Yep, that's right, you heard me. There was cross-dressing. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I'm sure you can find a clip on YouTube somewhere. But Khalil Roundtree and Corey Hendricks, I think his name is, had like a donut eating competition. After the last episode, Khalil lost his fight to Hendricks, and in this one, he actually had a rematch, but it was donut eating competition. And Khalil, being a 300-pound fat kid back in the day, kicked Corey's ass. So Corey had to go upstairs, get all dressed up, and he put spandex on, makeup on, came downstairs, started twerking, doing some weird shit, and it got real quick. Make sure you guys start watching that with us. I'm going to be live tweeting, and I'm getting Angie Jabs also to be live tweeting with us, and she will be on the next episode for our podcast. Great news, guys. If you guys don't already know this, we are now on iTunes. That's right, PureEVil MMA. You can find us on iTunes now. We're actually, our popularity bar, since you can't find out like how well your podcast is doing, our popularity bar is actually maxed out, which means you guys are listening, and I love it. So thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. I'm really trying with the picks. I'm trying to put on a good show. If you guys have any questions, make sure to find me on Twitter. I'm always on there. My fans are the most important thing that I have. So make sure you guys find me at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Make sure you find me. We have a lot of fun. Today during the fights, we were live tweeting, telling each other, going back and forth with our picks, and we just have a lot of fun. So make sure you guys add hashtag PureEVilMMA. Come part of the PureEVil crew, and let's make some money, people. I know you want to make money. We're doing really good. You should probably listen to the guy who's killing it with 32 out of 36 picks. All right, another thing, another fight announcements. TJ Dillashaw gets his rematch with Sun Tzu. These guys fought a couple years ago. TJ lost. That's right, guys. TJ, the former champ who just lost to Cruz, lost a few years ago to a Sun Tzu. But we haven't seen a Sun Tzu in a while, and a lot has changed since him and TJ fought. TJ went, got the belt, and now lost it. I mean, a lot has happened. So I don't know what to really expect from a Sun Tzu, but I'm always going for my boy TJ until he fights Cruz again. I think this is the perfect matchup. It's going to be Dominic Cruz versus Uriah Faber in the next matchup. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'm sure if TJ wins this, he'll get his rematch, hopefully. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that. One more fight announcement this week. If you guys haven't heard, Holly Holm, the former champion, the girl who destroyed Ronda Rousey, goes from being champion, fighting Misha, losing her belt, and now she drops down here to fight a 10th ranked fighter, Shevchenko, who's actually a really good fighter. Don't get me wrong, I had her winning her last match, and it was amazing. This girl has heart. She goes in there, destroys it, and there's no way any of you guys should think that this is like a heater match for Holly Holm, because it's not. We're going to really see Holly Holm in a match where a girl loves striking. So it's going to be really exciting. Let's see what she can do. But it's also a 10th ranked fighter. So I don't know how she went from champ to dropping down that far. But you know what? I'm not complaining. But it's definitely a tough fight for her. If Holly loses, I mean, it's going to look great for the other girl. And not so great for Holly. Holly will drop dramatically if she does lose that. So there's definitely risk involved in that fight. And I don't know. Her team hasn't been making good decisions for her. She couldn't wait for her to fight in the rematch against Ronda, so she fought Misha, and now she lost. So now she's facing these crazy fights. Good luck, Holly. I'll be rooting for you, but man, if you lose, it's going to be tough climbing that ladder, because the bantamweight division now is becoming a who's who. Now we got Chris Cyborg in the mix, who I'm also very excited to see. And that fight's coming up very soon down in Brazil. That whole card is stacked. Anderson Silva's on there. He's fighting Uriah Hall. And it's going to be like the first time in years that Anderson Silva hasn't been headlining a card. So, and he's also coming off of, a couple losses. Man, that last fight that he had with Bisping, I'm giving that fight of the year almost next to Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit. Let me know what you guys think about that. Who has fight of the year so far? PureEVil MMA wants to know. We asked you guys earlier in the week. I had a couple of good suggestions, and the top 2 so far that you guys like has been Bisping Silva, Hendricks, and Thompson fight. That was an amazing one too. There's been a lot of good fights this year so far, but also of course Conor and the Nate match. Let me know what you guys think. What gets fight of the year so far? I mean, there's a bunch of them that I can name. The Misha fight was exciting too. I mean, the list goes on, but I don't know. Anderson Silva, Bisping, that's up there, man. After Silva went in there and gave him that jumping high knee, drop Bisping, and no one knew what was going on. Silva thought he won, ran, jumped the cage, he was celebrating, and Herb Dean was like, no. And I feel like if he didn't do that and distracted Herb Dean, maybe the fight would have been over. All Silva had to do was jump on him, pounce, and it would have been ended. Bisping was down. I don't even want to get into it, guys, honestly. We can talk about that some other time. But let us know what is fight of the year so far. And let me know what fight you guys are looking forward to the most. Because there's a bunch of great fights coming up. UFC 200's coming up. I'm so excited about that. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Conor McGregor on the card. And I know a lot of fans are mad about that. But at the same time, if you're a fight fan and you look at the UFC 200 card, how the hell are you mad? You're not a fight fan then. I heard somebody say that. I think it was on MMA Beat. If you're not going to buy this pay-per-view just because Conor's on it, then you're a Conor fan. You're not a fight fan. And it was like, yeah, you're totally right, man. And unfortunately, some people are Conor fans. They might lose a couple mil, but honestly, I'll be buying. I know everyone that I know is most likely going to be buying that card, so I don't know. I'm not complaining. Us fight fans have been getting spoiled lately, and we've been getting greedy. So it's been one hell of a ride. All right, so let's get into it. UFC Rotterdam, what a card! It was out of control. The Struve fight, the Overeem fight, and the Gunner fight. Oh my God, the Gunner fight. Let's start with that. First off, coming into this fight, a lot of people weren't rooting for Gunner. He was actually the underdog, and I've been a huge fan. I know he's coming off of a loss, but this is a kid who was undefeated, has amazing ground skill, and you can see when he wraps somebody up, he literally looks for openings and strikes, just finds openings, just breaks it down, and the person who's getting held, they have no idea where he's coming from. He's like a snake, strike. And he finds those holes, finds those openings, and I love that. And that's exactly what he did in this fight, and that's exactly what won the fight. It started off quick. A lot of people, like I keep saying, weren't on his side in this fight, but he pulled through, and he had him in the ground and pound. Finally got him, chokes him out. He taps. I was literally screaming at my TV. The city must have been so mad at me. I mean, on Mother's Day, and I'm sitting there screaming at my TV. I got nervous. When I saw Gunner coming out, he didn't look that good. He didn't look healthy. He looked flushed. He looked tired. So I started getting nervous. But I've been following this kid for so long that I really have heart. And he's coming off the loss. He was fighting a guy that hasn't lost in a few years. I think he was on a 5-fight win streak. And, Gunner came in and showed us all that he deserves to be on that top 15. I mean, this kid is a beast, guys, and we'll definitely see a lot more of him. He's not that old. I think he's only 28 years old. So, I'm very excited. In the next couple of years, that kid might be holding that belt. So let's stay tuned and watch what becomes of this kid. All right, so after that, Stefan Struve versus Bigfoot. Everyone was saying, and I don't blame them, they were saying that they really wanted Bigfoot to win this. Struve said that he was going to get the knockout, and everyone was like, how? How is Struve going to get a knockout over Bigfoot? We watched Bigfoot have such a crazy chin in the fight with Hunt, the first Hunt fight, when they went round after round. That was out of control. If you guys never seen that, get Fight Pass, watch that fight. It was crazy. Unfortunately, in the following fight, Hunt ended the score, knocks Bigfoot out, makes him pass out. But nobody knew how Struve was going to knock Bigfoot out. So as soon as that first bell rang, they lined up, and Bigfoot literally ran right into Struve. Struve was like, all right, okay, come on. He comes in, boom, boom. Bigfoot falls into him, and he literally gets him with, I'm pretty sure he gets him with a knee. I got to watch the replay again. But they go up against the cage, and Bigfoot drops. I was like, oh my God, this is it. And then Struve started pounding away. And Bigfoot, just his eyes rolled back. He wasn't there. Bigfoot was complaining about it, but come on. He was out cold. And that's what I was saying coming into this fight. Since all this new testing and everything, a lot of these fighters haven't been doing what they used to be. They haven't been the way they used to be. Is that the right way to say it? I mean, I'm a huge Bigfoot fan. I rarely ever vote against him. But in this particular case, all the new testing and just Struve calling the knockout, and I've been following both fighters for so long. You know, you got to listen to your heart. You got to listen to your brain. My brain and heart were both saying Struve because of all the new testing, like I keep saying. Bigfoot has been like 1-6 in his last 6 fights or something like that. He hasn't been doing too good. And I didn't know it was going to be a knockout that quick, though. That's what caught me off guard. And I think that's what caught a lot of you guys off guard, too. Bigfoot literally ran in there and just got stomped. Struve was like, all right, bring it. And as soon as we found out that Struve won, Struve let out this huge roar and excitement, just like, come on, bring it. And he's actually one of the youngest kids in that division. I actually went over it with Max from our website, Pro Wrestling Authority, on our new podcast on iTunes. And if you guys don't have iTunes, I know a couple of my fans, a couple of my followers came up to me and sent me an email saying that, we don't have iPhones, we have Droids. Can we not watch the show anymore? What's going on? No, guys, you're totally wrong. We're on Podbean, so anyone can watch the show. We're getting great reviews. Thank you guys so much who are watching. Keep sharing, spreading the fire. Pure Evil Crew is rolling hard. We're doing a great job, guys. So let's keep this rolling. Let's get some sponsorships in here. And, let's get out to these fights. I want to do as much as I can for you guys. I really do. We're doing great so far. I want to know what you guys think I should add to the show, who you guys want to see on. My fans mean everything. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be to where we're at now. We wouldn't be on iTunes. Thank you guys who are following and sharing my articles too. And for those of you who are new and just tuning in, I'm Evil Eddie from PureEVil MMA, the podcast, the video updates, and the articles. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. And follow my articles at ProWrestlingAuthority.com. I'm covering all of MMA's top news. Get your daily dose from the website. I don't let my fans down. Any questions, anything you guys want to know, let me know. Let me take care of it. Be a part of the crew. We're doing great, guys. So, all right, getting into the main event of the night, we had Overeem, the Reem, back in UFC. He signed his new contract. He's been on a roll, and he went in against Arlovsky. I have never, ever picked against Arlovsky before in my life. But watching that last fight with him against Stipe, the fight ended so quick. He was so eager to get in there, and he just doesn't have the chin he used to have. And it's so hard for me to watch because I'm a huge Arlovsky. I love him. And it was so hard to watch that last fight. The new testing, I don't know if it has much to do with it. I mean, and he's been so funny lately, too. On UFC Tonight, they had him on after Tough Talk with Misha Tate. K-Flow was on, DC was on, and they were interviewing Arlovsky. He came on, and they were kind of asking him, you and Overeem are, training partners down at Jackson. So, is this going to be weird for you to go in there and fight a guy that you train with? And he goes, we ain't friends. I don't want a relationship with him anymore. That the friendship's over, and that he was going to go in there and show that he needs to shut his mouth, that he's been talking all this lip. And I was loving it. I was feeding it. I was totally digging it. And like I said, I've never picked against Arlovsky, but Overeem has been on such a roll lately that I can't pick against him, unfortunately. And tonight they went in there and Arlovsky was looking great. I mean, this is a fight that could have went either way. So don't listen to everything that I'm saying, because this totally could have went either way. And that's how that division goes. Anyone can get the win over anyone. It's just a matter of one punch. One punch can change the entire night. One punch can change your career. We saw that JDS and Kane fight. JDS has never been the same, but he also came back in the Rothwell fight, and he looked pretty sharp in that. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Right now we're talking about our boy, the Reem. So as soon as that bell rang, Arlovsky was looking great, but the Reem has been going, great kickboxing skills, great striking, and I knew that this was going to be on the feet the entire time. And Overeem just landed the better shots, and the fight just took a turn for the worse for Arlovsky. It's very upsetting. He lost again. The last time that he lost, he started breaking down, and it almost seemed like he was crying. It was so hard to watch, and this was also hard to watch. But I knew coming into this fight that I just couldn't go against Overeem, and he came out the winner. So congratulations, Overeem. You won in your hometown. There were so many amazing fights this weekend, or today. I'm so happy that I got 11 out of 13 right. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show, listening to my picks. I hope you guys made money. I had a lot of fun. So make sure you guys tune in this week. I will be doing the next episode for our podcast, and we will have Ted Check on. That's right. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He has his own UFC MMA prediction show. He has a bunch of followers, and he's going to be on the show talking about UFC upcoming events, top news with me this week. Stay posted. I will let you guys know. So this is Evil Eddie from PureEVil MMA. Follow my articles on Pro Wrestling Authority. My boy Max from London, he actually writes articles as well covering top MMA news. He's always on top of fights with predictions and replays, recaps. So go to ProWrestlingAuthority.com and you will see the recaps for tonight's fights if you missed them. So don't miss out on that. Subscribe down below here on YouTube. Follow PureEVil MMA. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at Pure. See, I'm screwing up. See? Follow me on Twitter at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Eddie V, Evil Boy, PureEVil MMA, Evil Eddie. Out, guys.